Hello, my name is Mohammed Hamza Naeem, and I am a student of University of Hertfordshire. Today, our main topic is evidence-based recommendations for Aramark Catering Services at the Havilland Campus. Now we'll move forward. My client is Aramark, which provides the catering services to University of Hertfordshire's de Havilland Campus. The main core problem from our data-driven justification was the engagement of students with dining. The two root causes were high prices and limited cultural diversity in the menu. Our main goal is to give evidence-based and practical solutions to our client. Now, we have a 7 points based agenda that we are going to discuss further in our slides. First one is the data-driven justification, where I'll show you the evidence that I've collected for the recommendations. Second, the final recommendations that are going to help our client. Third one, the implementation plan that will definitely make a roadmap. Fifth one is my own reflection through the Gibbs model. Fifth one is the risks and limitations. And the final one are the conclusions and the actions for me and the client. Now, I'm going to provide you the data-driven justification. As you can see, there are performed survey in my university, in which there are three main points. First one is 83% of the people, including staff, student, and visitors, said they would visit the cafe more if the prices were lower. 53% wanted more international cuisine, and 13% wanted more vegetarian options. Now, the second data-driven justification was the observation. There were many points, but the main points that correlate to our core issue was the students observed the high pricing and then left for cheaper alternatives. The conclusion is affordability and variety are the key levers for engagement. These are the screenshots of the survey that I did in my university, in which you can easily see that there are two main questions. First one, would you use the restaurant more if the prices were lower? 83% said yes. The second one, you can see what types of food would you like to see more of. You can easily see that 50% said international cuisine and 13% said vegetarian options. Now, we're starting our recommendations that are practical and evidence-based. First recommendation is introducing a £3.50 meal. The action is that we are going to introduce a meal in which there's one main dish, one side, and a drink that will be priced at £3.50. The rationale for this is the survey results showed us that 83% of the people, including students, said that they would use the cafeteria more if the prices were lower. The theoretical support for this, I have used two studies. First one is the Maslow's. Maslow ensures that the affordable food meets students' psychological needs, which directly influences the engagement and satisfaction. And the figure of 350, I got it from NUS affordability benchmark, which told us that it maximizes the uptake and meet basic needs. Moving forward to our second recommendation. Now the action is that our client is going to introduce a weekly rotating cultural menu from different continents. and also include the vegetarian options and halal options. The rationale for this is 50% of the respondents in our survey requested international cuisine, while 13% of the respondents wanted more vegetarian options. The theoretical support for this is Naeem-CW4, in which we can easily understand that expanding the menu diversity increases the students' engagement and reflects the multicultural campus environment. Moving forward to the third recommendation. The third recommendation is loyalty and reward program. In this recommendation, I'm suggesting the client to launch a points-based card or a loyalty card with different kind of rewards and tiered incentives to drive repeat visits and the menu exploration. Data-driven basis for this recommendation are the survey in which the affordability was one of the top barriers. And the second one, the loyalty reward will enhance the perceived value. The theoretical support for this is CBBE model, Keller. The loyalty boosts perceived value, brand resonance, and behavioral loyalty, even in price-sensitive settings. Moving forward to implementation plan. I have really simplified the implementation plan so that the client could easily work on this. There are three main phases. The first one is immediate, in which our first recommendation is going to come into work, which was to introduce the 350 price bundle meal. The main resource for this recommendation or implementation plan is the staff training. The second phase is from 3 to 6 months. Now this phase is going to take time because in this we're going to implement a second recommendation, which is launching the rotating cultural menu. For this, the resource is the budget for menu redesign. Obviously, a menu with more variety demands more budget. The third phase is from 6 to 12 months. This is the loyalty scheme rollout, in which client is going to introduce a loyalty program system in their menu. There will be many anticipated benefits, but the four main benefits that we're going to talk about are these. First, increased footfall and revenue. Obviously, we're going to achieve this by giving our customers the affordable meals. Second, improved student satisfaction. By introducing different variety of foods from different continents, obviously it will increase student satisfaction. The third one is the repeat visits. When we are going to introduce the loyalty scheme and it's going to benefit the repeat visitors, then they'll definitely visit more and there'll be long-term engagement. And overall, the satisfaction will be improved and it will be more sustainable. Moving on to one of the major parts of my study. This is the reflection of my consultancy process using Gibbs reflective cycle. The description is: this consultancy project aimed to help Aramark with their catering services using primary research. Initially, in my coursework too, I failed to follow the guidelines and the teachings of my supervisor, which impacted the quality of my work. Now, the second phase is feelings. I obviously felt underprepared and anxious during coursework too, because obviously I didn't follow the instructions. But with the help of my supervisor in coursework 3 and the coursework 4, I felt that I am more confident now. I adopted a structured approach and just integrated the academic theories effectively. The third phase is evaluation. The positive part of my evaluation is that the mixed method research really strengthened my project, and my recommendations, which were evidence-based and practical, became more robust. The negative were obviously the early challenges in data collection and the theory integration because of my negligence. The lessons learned were the early planning and continuous feedback are important for our consultancy process. Moving on to the fourth part of our Gibbs reflective cycle, which is analysis. Now, there were many challenges, like the survey reach, and that specific challenge was resolved by the data collection and supplementing it with the observations. Now, applying theories like Maslow CBBE enhanced greatly the credibility and practicality of our recommendations. The reflecting of the process revealed that how much important is the aligning of data insights with the strategic frameworks. The conclusion part is where I have learned many things. I've learned that successful consultancy depends on strong research design, adherence to guidelines, and obviously effective time management. This whole experience improved all of my ability to critically evaluate findings, to critically think and present actionable theory-based recommendations. Now, this is an important part, the action plan. For future projects, I will do three things. First one, obviously start early so that I will have a lot of room to understand what I'm going to do. The second one is integrate the theory, the theoretical support from the very start, so that in the end of the project, I don't have to change anything. And the third part is use reflective practices to enhance my abilities in future and never stop learning. For this, one of the very good cycle is Gibbs reflective cycle. Moving on to the lessons learned and skills developed. The skills that I've developed along the way are the mixed method research. Now, this is a skill that is going to help me in the future a lot more than any other skills, because this method will help us to get evidence, which is the most important part for any project to work. Second is data-driven decision making. When it comes to data-driven decision making, there are many points. Collecting the data and integrating it to our project. And this study helped me to experience all the aspects of data-driven decision making. The third skill is client communication and professional presentation. This is one of the key points of our project. Now I am more confident and know how to formally talk to our client and give a professional presentation. The lessons I've learned are the following. First, the coursework taught me to follow the guidelines to improve the quality. The second one, theories like Maslow-CWE really strengthen the recommendations that I gave. And finally, the reflection, which is one of the most important part, supported the continuous improvement, and it will in future. Moving forward to risks and limitations. There are 4 major risks when it comes to this project. First one is the financial risk. Second one is operational risk. Third one is behavioral risk. And the last one is research limitation. Now we're going to discuss the first one. Now this is aligned to our recommendation. The first recommendation was the £3.50 meal. The £3.50 bundle may reduce the margins, the profit margins. Solution to this is theoretically based. Bulk procurement and cost efficient menu will help us in this problem. Now we're getting the theoretical support from Dong et al. 2020. The second, operational risk. This is aligned with our second recommendation, which is the cultural menu. The cultural menu requires new suppliers and staff training. The solution for this is also theoretically supported. First, there should be a phased rollout and there should be a partnership with the suppliers. And these solutions are confirmed by a study by Kiat Novi and Mir Shahi 2024. The third risk is again aligns with our third recommendation. The risk is the loyalty scheme may favor frequent diners. Solution is giving tiered rewards which are accessible to all the users, not just the repeated visitors. The theoretical study support behind it is Keller 1993 CBBE model. Now the last one, the research limitation. Obviously, when we did the survey and observation, there were many points that might have missed, some perspectives might have missed. The solution for this is expand the survey and use the social networks. The theoretical support study behind this is Saunders et.al. 2019, which tells us the importance of doing more research. Finally, the conclusion and next steps. I'm going to repeat again the key takeaway, which was the diversity and affordability were the main core issues that we have addressed in our PowerPoint slide. Next steps for a respected client are these four. First one, immediately introduce a £3.50 bundle. The second one is launch rotating menu in some month. The third one is long-term, introduce a loyalty program system in the menu. The fourth one is what I suggest is the most important. Continue changing yourself by monitoring all the students. You can use surveys, observations, and interviews for this and get the feedback of students. Finally, next steps for me. I'll continue developing my consultancy skills and expertise in future. And I'll integrate all the academic models that I've learned from a respected supervisor, Miss Davis. And the final one is use the reflective frameworks like Gibbs to be more better and more confident in future. Now finally, for this journey, I would like to thank first of all my respected supervisor, Ma'am Susan Davies, and secondly, my respected client. Thank you very much for believing in me and for teaching me what was important. Thank you.